Thank you so much for joining and welcome to the Advanced Karma Detox program. Let's just calm down, connect with ourselves, and seek blessings from the metaphysical sources who've enabled all of us to be here today. Take a deep breath in and gather all your energies by focusing on your breath. Simply observe how you breathe in and breathe out. Now, invoke your higher consciousness. Radical consciousness. All healing angels and healing masters. For supporting us, helping us, and taking care of us. And eventually invoke the ultimate consciousness. Seek their blessings, seek their guidance. Seek the assistance in your relief from karmic backlogs. Seek the wisdom to enjoy the brilliance without going through karmic suffering. Seek permission to grow with ease and grace. Take a deep breath in. And now you may slowly open your eyes. Hi, and welcome to this beautiful series of Advanced Karma Clearance. This is a guided program. As you know, it's not always humanly possible to manipulate lives of people, including your own life. So whenever the time is right, you get guided to work on the karmic program. Now, why am I saying this? Is because you've tried overcoming your patterns, your sufferings, your problems, and it's not always possible and always easy to step out of it with all your awareness and hard work. There are few things that remain persistent and consistent, and you cannot overcome, even though you might be helping the whole world around, being an accomplished healer. And you wonder why few things are still lingering in my space. We need the divine grace to close these files and restart our lives. So certainly be grateful for this grace, even to think of coming for this program, starting this new journey and getting assistance, both from metaphysical world as well as physical world, to be able to embark on this journey. Why are we not allowed to complete a few karmas? Before I explain that, I need to first orient you to our basic understanding of karmas. So a lot of you have already done karma clearance program earlier, and probably you're aware of the theory. Many of you are already past life regression therapists, healers, or you've gone through personal regressions and have a fairly good idea about karmas. Some of you have heard about karmas through religions and scriptures and would have your own concepts about karmas. Or you've heard ancestrally, you've heard from your parents, you've heard in books, you've heard in casual conversation about karmas. And some of you have had first-hand experiences with the karmic reversal, and that too instantaneous. I'm going to put forward some of the concepts first as observed in my clinical practice. Let me tell you, the concepts that I'm going to explain right now are not something that I've picked up from the scriptures or traditions or from teachers. My greatest teachers have been the subjects I've helped them resolve their own lives. There are a few people who've been in my life and I've tried helping. I wouldn't say that I've helped. I've tried helping, I've tried guiding. I've been there and I've witnessed their journey. And they've taught me a lot, consciously and subconsciously. Why am I saying subconsciously? As you know, I've been a clinical hypnotherapist. I've taught and conducted a lot of past life regression. And post-regression, you connect to the higher consciousness and you learn a lot through higher consciousness. Later, while doing radical sessions, people do go in trance and they connect to their higher consciousness, and you get a lot of first-hand story and theories straight from the higher consciousness. You also learn from the masters who speak through people around, especially when they are in a alpha state or in a deep state of trance. So the concepts that I'm going to talk about are a collection of all this information, guidance, and understanding. They're not just theories, but they're the concepts I have used in guiding people to lead an easy and comfortable life, to continue growing and evolving in the best possible way. And I'm going to first explain to you what karmas are all about as per the understanding derived from and through the subconscious mind of people I've been working with. So, if you have to define karmas in a simplest way, I would say karmas are reversal of experiences. If you feel and think and believe at conscious level, subconscious level, or soul level that you have given an experience or a set of experiences to people across time and space, you as an individual would like to go through the same experience or a set of experiences you believe, you think, or you feel have given to others. What does this mean? You have made somebody feel miserable, and if you think that you have made it, you believe that you've made it, or you feel that you have made it, you want to experience what is it to go through the experience of being miserable. Now, you may choose to feel miserable through the same person or through different setup, different set of people or circumstances. The reverse is also true. If you have made others feel happy, positive, amazing, you also invite yourself to experience happiness and an amazing life. And the story continues across time and space. Do you need to regress yourself to figure out when and where you did that? After having done hundreds of past life regression sessions and having taught that, I would say, yeah, you don't need to revisit your past life because your current life says a lot about your past life. Tell me what you're going through in your current life, and I can tell you more or less what kind of past life you would regress into. And what kind of incompletions you're carrying forward from the set of past lives you are pre-programmed with. I'm choosing my words very, very carefully, because I truly believe and understand now that you do not suffer because of your past lives and past karmas. It's a big statement I'm making. You do not suffer because of your past lives and past karmas. Your choice of suffering makes you remain pre-programmed with certain past lives and certain karmas. I again repeat, you do not suffer because of your past lives and past karmas. It's your choice of suffering which makes you go through, download, borrowing, carrying forward, and inheriting karmas. Now, this is something big. the first thought and a question would come, why would I want to suffer? Why? The commonest answer and the greatest answer for that is growth through suffering. Do you really need to suffer to grow in life? Not necessary. Mainly, it's a cultural belief, the social beliefs. And I know a lot of people are going to get annoyed listening to this. Go back to your mother's womb. Right at the time, you were just two cells, one from your mother and one from your father. And how you multiplied over 9 months. What effort have you put? What effort are you putting to take your breaths, to digest your food? To have your blood circulating, to assimilate the right nutrients, to have the hormones flowing in a balanced way. Are you putting an effort? You've grown, you've been functional, majorly in an effortless way. So, not always. The growth needs struggle, pains, troubles, and those horror stories to continue becoming better and better. We don't need all those things. Growth and progress are inevitable. Whether you want it or not, you are going to progress. You are going to continue growing. However, across generations, people have been believing that every time there is a struggle, there is a trouble, there is a problem, you grow. So if there is a need to continue growing, you will make sure that you create the right atmosphere to suffer. Again, I would remind you that karma is not just about suffering. Most people want to relieve themselves from karma, to release themselves from suffering, and hence I'm focusing on that topic. Karmas are much more than that, but I'm just now focusing on suffering. So your need for suffering will carry forward ancestral karmas as well as past life pre-programmed karmas as well as the current life karmas of having made others suffer. If there is a need for humiliation, you will carry forward the past life karmas or ancestral karmas or current life karmas of having made others feel humiliated. If there is a need to experience insecurity, you will carry forward past life pre-programmed karmas, ancestral karmas, or current life karmas of having made others feel insecure. Now, once you carry forward these karmas, you work your way around to reverse the experience. So, for example, if there is a suffering, now you want to work and make sure that you do not suffer. If there is humiliation, you want to work towards restoring honor. If there is insecurity, you want to work towards making yourself, your life, and your loved ones more secure. So it all begins with focus on the end objective. If you are here to get name, fame, and recognition, you will never value name, fame, and recognition unless and until you go through defamation, derecognition, or even humiliation. If you're here for name, fame, and recognition, you may invite the background of derecognition, defamation, or humiliation in the current life or in the ancestral background or in your past life reprogramming. Why? Because you can appreciate light if there is darkness. You can appreciate the polarities very well against the opposite backgrounds. If you want to appreciate happiness, you will appreciate much better if there's been a tremendous sadness and grief. To appreciate security, you need to go through a lot of insecurities. So simply to appreciate and be grateful for what you have, you often invite the opposite background. So let's work backward again. So if you are here in life to enjoy good fortune eventually, or if you're here in life to help people feel fortunate or rediscover their good fortune, you will not appreciate a good fortune that you already have, or you will not get inspired to help people feel fortunate. Hence, there is a need to go through a brief or a prolonged phase of misfortunes. To bounce back from that phase, to discover their good fortune and your own good fortune. I repeat again. If you're here to experience what is it to be fortunate, you may invite a phase of tremendous misfortune for a short period of time or a pretty condensed or dense period of time. And to be unfortunate and to have cities of misfortune, you probably would carry forward those past lives. Remember, we are eternal beings. So we've had several past lives. But we'll selectively carry forward those past lives where you've been the cause for others' misfortune. You'll carry forward the guilt of making others feel unfortunate, causing misfortune to others. You'll choose to be born in a family and inherit karmas related to misfortunes from your ancestors. You may have a guilt of being part of your mother's or father's misfortune. And when it gets overwhelming to be the unfortunate one, now you'll set yourself on a journey to discover good fortune, to become good and fortunate, and to help others eventually to rediscover their good fortune. So it works backward. What does this mean? If you're here to inspire others and motivate others, you will have tremendous demotivated time in the past. To appreciate motivation and inspiration. For you to feel demotivated, you would have the past life reprogramming of having demotivated others. You'll also have ancestral guilt of having demotivated others, and you may have the guilt of mother feeling demotivated because of you, or father feeling demotivated because of you. Even if it is not a truth, you will perceive that right from the womb and have a guilt feeling that my mother's feeling demotivated because of my birth, because of my pregnancy. She's losing her zest to continue with her career, and I'm becoming a hindrance to her, and I'm to be blamed for all the demotivation my parents are going through. And you carry this guilt and remain demotivated for a certain phase just to bounce back and rediscover the inner motivation and inspiration. And it might be important for you to become a motivation speaker or motivator on social media. So this is how karmas work. Having said that, I know there's going to be a lot of internal questioning, and you might want to find out more, right? So at this juncture, I'll give a small pause and open the platform to questions and answers. So thank you for being very patient, not asking questions so far, but if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer right now.
Can I ask, ma'am?
Hi, Amit.
Hello, yeah. So, I wanted to ask one question. Like you said that it is for that for growth, right? Suffering for growth. But like as you said that there is a need for say joy, so you will feel sad and you will have pre-programmed sadness and the condition for sadness. Yes, definitely that person will grow because it needs to appreciate that in the experience, but it will but he will or or she will help people also, correct? So in that way it is also not only the need for growth, but it's to help community. Maybe it's a love for people that one needs to go through the struggle times just for the sake of community and maybe social welfare or love for that generation.
Yeah, it's not always for the community. We do overshoot the karmic reversal and spread it to many. Why I'm saying is because there's a huge set of healers and influencers community in front of me. So I'm saying, but not everyone is there for the larger good. They are there for their good first.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have Hemanti. Hi, Hemanti.
Good morning, Aatmn. I
Good
wanted
morning.
to just know that all that you explained, are you suggesting that we are going through these phases for reversal, or we are also creating, maybe it's like creating it for the future, like going through the pain and all of that. Will we then have more pain in future, or it is only everything to do with the past?
Okay, thank you so much, Hemanti, for asking this question. My answer may not be directly related to your question, but I also wanted to tell you that uh, the objective of this program um, is not about negating the past, but catching the brilliance. Okay, let me give you a very simple example. Uh, if you have a child, right, and the child is studying, you may discipline this child and you may say, okay, these are your study times, these are your playing times, these are your internet times, and you need to stick to this timetable. You do all these things, and sometimes you can become punitive and severe with your child. Why would you do that? Because you want your child to perform better. But if your child is smart and intelligent and more capable and is more aware, finishes her homework in the school itself, in the break times, okay, and does things much faster and more intelligently and well organized, you as a parent may not choose to be so severe. You don't have a need to be severe, right? So, high consciousness has designed stories to make sure that you do certain things.
Hmm.
If we understand the whole game plan and do what you're meant to do, you don't have to go through suffering.
Hmm. Okay.
Most people wait that when my suffering gets over, I will do what I want to do.
Hmm.
The opposite is much more relevant. Do what you need to do, the suffering anyway will reduce. Using this example of a child. If the child studies and ensure parents that she gets enough marks to fulfill the common vision that they have, parents don't have to be severe on the child or even disciplinarian or at times punitive.
Okay.
Yeah. So the soul has a plan in place. If you can recognize this plan very well and continue with the brilliance in that plan, you don't have to heal the past lives and heal the ancestors. Nothing. All those programming has been given to you for a reason. Understand that reason, follow the reason, and be aligned with that brilliance.
Uh, just one more question, Atman. Is whatever you have explained so far, is there some write-up on that we
Uh,
can reread it? Because this is making so much sense, and for me to reread it, it would have been useful if there was something that I could. I know the
okay.
affirmations for sure, but if this knowledge, because I have written quite a bit of notes for myself.
Yeah. We will give you the transcript. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Conversation, right? Okay. Any other question apart from that?
Can you repeat that point in which you said that we are waiting to get out of the struggle and then do something, like you said a few months back? I didn't get
Okay.
it.
So the most people think that the moment all my troubles get over, I will do what I need to do. But the troubles are designed to push you out of your comfort zone so that you do what you need to do. So if you start doing what you need to do, you stop getting troubled.
Okay.
It's still a theory. I'll make you, um, you know, make you get used to this
Yeah, because
concept.
sometimes people are joking, right? They feel like they are scarcity, nothing is there to like even meet their ends, and how to get out means you get in a loop where you can't get out, get in, how to solve that.
Because most people wait till the time troubles get over so that I move on and move forward. A lot of time troubles are created to make sure that you move on and move forward. I'll give you a metaphoric example, Amit. You are in a room and there are 10 to 12 windows and doors. Okay. Now there is one door which is not so attractive. No, it's dilapidated and you wonder whether you should even knock that door. So you try the most attractive doors and windows. Nothing opens, nothing. You try, work hard. Okay. But there is one path for you which you may not find it very attractive. Okay. And it is through that door, which door also is not very attractive. At times, you just have no choice left. And because this is the only door which perhaps would open, you push it open and escape. But you wasted a lot of time. If you had wisdom and foresight, you wouldn't have wasted time and you wouldn't have suffered feeling trapped in spite of having so many doors and windows. Making sense?
Yes, but yeah, to get that wisdom, I think
Yeah.
is difficult.
That is that is the super shortcut to karmic clearance.
Okay, how we learn that?
Raising the consciousness, understanding the principles. So you were not stuck because the doors were closed. You were stuck because you were not opening the door which was meant for you. And the universe had to create the whole game plan for you.
Okay.
Life is somewhat like that. Okay. You move with inspiration, desperation, or conspiracy. Okay. If you're connected to the highest consciousness, you move always with inspiration, the way birds and animals are guided, super guided. They just know where to pick up the right food. Monkeys, they know which is the right plant for them, right? And they never eat anything poisonous. In fact, we super intelligent humans, if you go to the forest, you observe what monkeys eat. And it's safe for humans as well because they know it. There are no books, there are no internet, there's no guidance, but they just know they are guided, right? Birds know across miles, they can flow to the safest space to breed and return to be comfortable, temperature wise and otherwise. And if there's going to be a volcano, they can pre-plan their journey. They know 6 months in advance that, they have to start their migration faster. They know it. Okay. We super intelligent beings, we perhaps ignore those signals. It's not that we don't know it, we ignore those signals. So when we follow those inspiration path, life is very, very easy. When we do not, the karmic stories and karmic background start multiplying and acting up. It's like a dormant program which gets activated. And then the position or the whole plan of desperation starts so that you move with desperation. And still, if we don't move and resist and don't understand the universal ways, you move with a huge conspiracy where it's impossible for you to continue being there. But conspiracy creates a lot of um, troubles and a lot of after effects. So, for example, you being in that room with 10 to 12 windows and having no way to step out, if you move with inspiration and get guided, you will be guided to open that door, which is not so attractive and not opening up to a positive, seemingly glorious possibilities. You wouldn't do it. But if you're inspired thoroughly, you would do it. And when you don't open up and keep knocking the doors which appear to be a little more attractive and more logically appealing, and yet they don't open, then you get desperate. So you just bang across any door that opens and you move out. But even out of desperation, you choose not to open that unpleasant looking door. The universe will conspire. You will run short of oxygen, food, or all resources, and you'll have no choice but to just open that door. And still, if you say, no, I will not go through this door, come what may, you might have an explosion or an earthquake, and everything will collapse, and you'll have no choice but go through that route, and all other routes will not be available. But that would be very painful. People who go through a lot of karmic sufferings are generally already going through desperation and conspiracy.
I think that we cannot never have a formula like to calculate which door to go. Like we have a mathematics formula to calculate everything, but we can't calculate. So it's, I think, as by conspiracy, it is like we can observe and see, and then based out of it, get a hint to which should be the possibly right door.
You need to transcend your conscious mind or integrate your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the soul consciousness to be able to move with inspiration.
Sure, sure.
All right, Ravi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I'm just trying to compare karma with Gita, what Krishna said. Like, whatever you do, it's gonna, come back to you. So if, as you said, like, if you are making someone some something, some negative feeling to, you're giving, or some negative experience you're gonna give to this, you're gonna get that. So uh, objective of this course, or maybe radical, like, are we trying to reduce down the thing, like the reduce the impact of the suffering? Because as in Gita, it's like, it's gonna come back to you, like, that's inevitable. So what are we trying to do? Like, we are trying to grow our consciousness that, we don't feel that suffering, or maybe we don't attract more of that, or like, how are we connecting with that?
So suffering is also a choice. Okay. So for example, if carrying forward the same story, if a child is made to study, the child has a choice of feeling that I'm punished and hence I have to study, or I'm studying because it's good for me, or I'm studying because it's super exciting. It's the same thing that a child is doing, but attitude is different. Even as an adult, We go through what we go through. Now it's up to us to feel like as if I'm suffering. So on a day of Raksha Bandhan, today, it's a festive time, right? And if somebody has forced you to join this course, you'll feel I will have to suffer instead of enjoying the whole festive time. I'm here in front of this idiot box listening to some stupid commentary. And what am I doing and why am I being forced to do this? I don't want to do this. And if that is the case, you'll feel, And somebody would say, good, it's on a holiday. So I have my beautiful space and I can totally focus. So it's not about what you do and what happens to you. It's all about how you perceive. So it is eventually an experience that makes a difference in your life. So how do you experience? What do you experience through that? And that experience is something that we would like to reverse and not the act. Because the act, people, places, possibilities, these are not our problem. What you experience through them becomes our stories. And that experiences can be evolved with awareness and understanding and resetting the mindset. So for example, lack of finances, or I would rather give example of a school itself because it's easier to digest. We all have been through that. So 7 boys failed in class 7. Okay, it's a same experience, failure, not being able to go to class 8. One boy said, I'm feeling very nervous and I don't know what will I tell my dad. The second one said, I'm very angry with the teacher. I'm sure teacher must have fought with her husband and give me bad marks. The third one said, how shameful. I can't show my face to anyone. I feel like committing suicide. One of them said, I don't want to study. If you study, then you fail. I would rather join my dad's business right from here. One boy said, I resolve never to fail again. I will stop all my activities now, no play, no games. I will make sure that I'll study further. One boy said, all my friends have gone into the next standard. I'll be left alone. And I've lost all my friends and connect with them. One boy said, yay, now I'm going to be the senior most in standard 7. Now, this is the same act of failing, right? And how different people have different experiences, different perceptions, different ways of looking. So failing doesn't make you suffer, but how you look at failure certainly makes you suffer. And that can be changed. Does that help, Ravi, or is there any other?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
No, I'm done. Yes, ma'am.
If I may just add to that, uh, good morning, Aatmn and everyone. Just take forward what Ravi said. Basically, our response to situations. Situations come. I'm not going to call it suffering. Those are situations. Things happen and they happen for a reason. So instead of focusing on the reason, if we focus on our response to it, I think that's what you mean by we have a choice of suffering, right? So either yeah.
Let me give you an example. These are my earliest times. an educated, well-placed woman, having a very beautiful career, staying abroad, had come to me for therapy. Why? Because her husband used to beat her black and blue. And it was very common to get beaten up by her husband. And she said, enough is enough, but I have tried. I can't separate from him. I can't divorce him. And it's difficult. The situation is really difficult. And interestingly, I still love him, even though he is very abusive, emotionally, verbally, financially, and even socially. And yet, I don't know why I'm living with him. Is there a solution? So in those days, I was a regression therapist. I took her through regression. And she saw herself being a tyrant in her past lives. And she also saw in some of the lives, the roles have been reversed. She also saw herself as an abuser in some of the past lives. We did around 5 or 6 lives. And we also understood that the whole life of feeling helpless through her husband was designed to bring out the inner strength in her, because he was eventually helping her to reconnect with her inner strength. The more he abused, the more she resolved to be stronger than ever before. So we helped her. I helped her rediscover and realign with her strength and forgive herself for abusing others in the past. I've not met her husband, but at least for 2 years she was in touch and she says no more abuse. It's been peaceful. He's been cooperative. He's taken up a job. He's become very busy. He's doesn't have time now for being nasty or difficult also. And we have a peaceful coexistence now. And she, of course, continued doing better in her career. Did I change her husband? No, and yes. Did I do anything? No, and yes. Did she do? No, and yes. She simply shifted. She's shifted her perspective and she aligned with the wisdom that was underlying in this whole scenario of abuse. Okay. So this is one such case study. I'm sure all of you have a story to tell. And many of you have already worked with your karmas and aligned with the wisdom. It's just that we are going to focus this 2 months in doing this consolidated and intense work. So what are we going to do? One, complete the forgiveness, because if there is a guilt, there's a possibility of suffering. And why do that? Because the guilt and suffering together will create a very dense energy and will not let you look beyond. So you need to ease the suffering to a great extent if you're suffering, not necessarily. Karma workout is all about easing the suffering if you're suffering, because that's important. You need to be reasonably calm enough to be able to go beyond the whole scenario and drama, to understand the metaphysical brilliance behind the whole game plan, connect with that game plan, and align with the brilliance in the game plan. That's going to be the objective of the whole course.
And one question, ma'am. Like you said, like for that means the right path, mind, body, and soul has to be in integration. So why this process? By doing this process, how or we can align with that three? Like it is integrity, right? One of the basic principles of maybe radical integrity. Is it like that?
So You know, so I'm not directly answering your question, but what I'm saying is the ultimate objective is the alignment. Because when you're aligned and synchronized with the eternal consciousness, you do not suffer.
Okay.
You become a channel and you do on behalf of your highest consciousness, and there's minimum I. Now, whether we'll be able to achieve all that in 2 months is a little too much to expect. If you're a beginner, if you're already an advanced radical student, you're already on your way. So when you understand the whole game plan, and that understanding doesn't come from the human level of understanding or consciousness, it comes with a higher consciousness. Now, you can only connect to the higher consciousness if you ease your emotions. You can only ease your emotions if you heal your past stories, because they are the ones which keep getting triggered even in the current scenario. So if you heal your past, you remain fairly peaceful. And in that peaceful moment, you can go deeper and connect with your higher levels of consciousness to understand a bigger game plan, and eventually understand the whole brilliance, synchronize with the brilliance to minimize or reduce or almost end seeming suffering. Because from that point of view, suffering is not a suffering.
So I guess it is like a man which has a lot of luggage and he cannot move forward. So first he has to drop his luggage in the hot sun and then be calm, and then only he can see things the way they are.
And if you're overloaded with too much of luggage, you cannot see the way forward. And most people think that because of luggage, I'm not seeing the way forward. Interestingly, there is a resistance to see the way forward, and hence you don't drop the luggage.
Yeah, so the first thing is to see where you are standing, with what you are standing, and then you will know that we have to drop that which we are holding, and then slowly we will align to that what you are saying, higher consciousness and the place of neutrality, where we can see things the way they are.
The day you realize that I can comfortably move forward even without luggage. You hold on to luggage because you think that if you move forward, you'll need it.
Yes, sure.
The day you realize that you can do without this luggage, you will drop it.
Beautifully put, Atman. The luggage analogy is just beautiful. We
Yeah.
don't put it down because we think we need it.
Yeah. We are so attached to this baggage and we think we'll need it. No? You know, in aircraft, they tell you now that if there is an emergency landing, please do not take any of your luggage. Just move. Why do they have to say that? Because we are so attached, you know, oh, my passport, oh, my papers, oh, my cash, oh, my currency, oh, my credit card, oh, my, you know, I cards. I need it. You know, what will I do without it?
And we miss the valuable ourselves, like in that. So we miss to safeguard ourselves. So it's in life also, like normal situation. We value the most valuable, that the one we are and the inside of us. So whatever we are here for, experiencing life, right? I think that most precious thing to in life is to experience life, right? If
It's only when, you know, Ramakrishna, this is a story. Ramakrishna was, I think, near the riverside, And some disciple was following him and say, I want to meet God, I want to meet God, and I know you can. I know you can, please Guruji, this, that. He kept following. Ramakrishna just picked him up and threw him in the water and wouldn't let him come out of the water. And he practically submerged him for a few seconds to a few minutes. And then eventually the guy who was submerged forced himself out of the water and says, what are you doing? You would have killed me. So Ramakrishna said, the day you will crave for God, the way you were craving for life right now, you will find God. Okay. Karmas make you go through this. Not just for life. Sometimes there are overwhelming stories, multiple deaths, too much of torturing, too much of emotional blackmailing, too much of adversities. And eventually you want to say, chuck it out, yeah, I want now happiness. So a lot of people go through this conspiracy to rediscover what the soul wanted to discover, right? And if there is a way, if there is a mechanism to figure that out, you don't have to go through this seeming drowning situation. The suffering ends there. Any more
So
questions?
we forget to learn back, right? So we forget whatever we had to learn again or to reinforce the learning that it is the way things are and that is the truth. Is it like that?
We forget what a soul is here for.
Is it possible that we're here for multiple things? Say peace as well as fame, as well as.
There is a theme experience. It's like a mango tree. Okay, there is a theme experience and various expressions of that experience. That's it.
So basically, the theme remains the same.
Yeah. Even if you have multiple levels of troubles in life, there is a theme behind that trouble also.
The reason I ask is I feel it's about being happy. It's on multiple things at the same time. So I have to just find out what is the basic theme in all of that.
Okay.
Also, I'd written down one question a few days back. I'd written down, since my universe is completely created by me, what about karma? Can I not let it go with the belief that I don't need karma anymore to grow? So, literally, what we're saying is with inspiration and motivation, we can anyway
Yes.
choose to find our path, given that we know the brilliance of.
As Amit gave this example of a baggage, the day you realize I don't need this baggage and I will be fine, and I will get what I really need as and when I reach wherever I reach, you will not carry that baggage. During ancient days, they used to, traveling used to be a big thing. I've also traveled like this. There used to be a bedroll and tiffin for 3 days at least. And if you're Gujarati, then you'll have thepla for 21 days. All of dry stuff and enough water. And, this is how we used to travel. But today we know, okay, fine, if I step into the aircraft or there would be a dhaba on the road, I'll get my stuff.
how to means get it means the faith or say dilasa अपने आप को मतलब how sometimes it's difficult and
Uh, do you know swimming?
no,
It's very
I don't
easy. It's very easy. I'm telling you right now. Okay, Amit, just get into the water, and move your hands and legs. First, right hand, thrush the water behind, and then left hand, and then thrush the water behind. And at the same time, move your feet and push the water behind so that you move forward. Right? It's very easy. Do it right now. You think you'll learn with this theory?
Mhm.
You will
Sorry,
not. You'll have to get into the water.
correct.
No amount of theory, no amount of video tutorials will teach you swimming unless you get into the water.
Okay, I got your explanation. Means while going through the situation, we will we will experience the faith also. Like we have no other option. So like conspiracy, what you will do? You will move forward. You will have a definitely faith. Uh,
Get into the water with an instructor by your side, okay?
Sure.
Start with relatively shallow water, not so shallow that you can swim, but reasonably shallow where you'll not drown, but you have to get into the water.
Once I just happened to be in the Sinhast, and there was a Mahakumbh kind of place. I feared water, but in one of those situations it was a shallow water. I just tried to just bath, but I stood still for like 1 hour, and then I felt like it's not so fiery. So I just moved my hands and feet, and I could move little bit. So at least I have less fear. Means I like what you have tried, I have tried before. So I think yes, it helps in that way that you will develop the faith in that. So I think yeah, that is the way.
You've got to be there to experience. Like in Gujarati, we've been taught, Aap mua siwai swarge na javai. So you can't go to a heaven unless you die. Sorry, but it's a very crude way of saying. But for certain experiences, you have to open up. So if you tell me to give you a theory of how to develop faith, no. You've got to be there to develop faith. Face the adversities and you'll realize, oh, it's not that scary anymore.
I think this is the most beautiful explanation I've ever heard. Thank you so much.
So don't wait for the adversities to get over. Have first desire or align with the greater purpose. The adversities anyway will get over. Now, this still feels like a theory, but I'm going to handhold each one of you and take you along with.
And the learning will come along the way, right? Like we don't
Learning,
know everything beforehand, but while doing only we get to learn the way how to do it.
doing. Make your life as a project work, okay? And don't sit here and keep discussing theories. Live life this 2 months. Face what you've been avoiding. Open up to new possibilities. And of course, there would be a little resistance here and there, and the past coming in the way and surfacing up like those bubbles in the boiling water. But they'll come and go. And then you'll rediscover that stillness. And in that stillness, you will rediscover the true brilliance. That's all. Okay. So I'm choosing deliberately not to start the whole process today. This is more of an introduction. And we will also circulate this to people who've been sitting on the fence. Should I or should I not? Should I or should I not? And if some of them want to just jump in, let them. And the main work we will start in from the next Saturday onwards. We're going to have karmas related to 7 chakras. So what are the karmas related to 7 chakras? At root chakra level, karmas are about survival. So the guilt could be of taking away an opportunity to survive and thrive. And it could be as gruesome as killing someone, aborting forcibly an infant, taking away an opportunity to make it in life. Also, choosing not to accept the ground reality, not being able to connect to Mother Earth, rejecting life. You know, some people die once, but a lot of people die every day by choosing not to live life 100%. Depression. So those are the karmas related to the root chakra. At sacral chakra level, the karmas that we generate leads to a lot of hardship in life, a lot of physical discomfort, emotional discomfort, pains, one being hard on themselves or the world being very hard on themselves. At solar level, it's all about feeling helpless, powerless, insecure, worried, fearful. And there could be a guilt of having given similar experiences to others in the past. At heart level, there are all relationship troubles, mainly fear of disconnection, not relating, and yet being together, feeling unloved, feeling rejected, feeling disconnected. At throat level, feeling of humiliation, defamation, feeling of being small, not okay, not enough. At third eye level, confusion, conflict, sabotage, feeling lost. And truly at crown level, practically there are no karmas, but if at all, a little bit would be rejecting the divinity, choosing not to acknowledge the divine in you, the stories of similar kind. So next 7 weeks, we are going to work at these 7 levels. Okay, so we'll have group recitation. We'll also have open house support, open house support where very senior mentors are there and they will guide you through. And they will also handhold you. And I'll have some prompts on a daily basis that you could work with. Remember, don't focus too much on clearing the baggage. Continue focusing on moving on and moving forward to the next level of consciousness. And the more you evolve in your consciousness, the more you can see through your fallacy and stories, which are not helping you anymore. And the easier it is for you to step beyond that. How much effort do you need to drop your baggage? It's as easy as that. Simply drop the baggage. You don't need it. They've brought you till now, but from here onwards, open up to the possibility of being taken care of without the old baggage, because you're the chosen one. There is a plan in place and you will be provided for. If ants to elephants all are taken care of by the universe, why not you? If you're not taken care of, check how open are you to be taken care of. So you're all supported, you're all taken care of, you're loved beyond your imagination, and you're special. Rediscover that brilliance, that special, that divine, that beautiful self that you are, who deserve to live life with total liberation, to choose the kind of experiences you truly deserve. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. See you on next Saturday. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.